All right, MVP for the look. First of all, Joel Embiid, he's the reigning MVP. The dude is crazy, man. He don't went head to head with Jokic, clapped him, gave him 42, gave him that work. He ain't ducking no smoke. He done dropped 70 on Wemby last night. He's got, I don't know, man, like 20 consecutive 30-point games. It's just crazy, man. He's the leading scorer in the league at like 34 points a game. I mean, I think he's doing more than what Harden was doing when Harden had that historical season. His assist numbers are up. He was averaging 7. Now it's down to 6. He's averaging 6 and 6, which is double what he used to. He used to average 3. Rebounds are up. He's still playing a great rim protecting defense, and he's doing all this without an all-star on his team. No James Harden, no Jimmy Butler, no Ben Simmons. It's just a young Tyrese Maxey and average Tobias Harris. We haven't seen a guy get to the finals without an all-star since probably Dirk did it. When he took, even though he had Jason Kidd was like 38, 39 at that time. But he got to the finals with just J. Kidd, J. Terry, J.J. Barrera, Tyson Chandler, right? And then he beat a super team, right? And then Hakeem Olajuwon did it the year before Drexler showed up, because Drexler won the second championship with the Rockets, but the first one, I think his second best player might have been Kenny Smith and a rookie Sam Cassell or rookie Robert Horry, right? The only person that was on that team that had ever sniffed the All-Star was maybe Otis Thorpe, and I don't think nobody really think Otis Thorpe is a legit All-Star. So superstars like Embiid, Hakeem, and Dirk, that they took a rough route. If Embiid is able to get to the finals with this roster, it's gonna mean a lot. And I don't think the MVP is a big deal for him, but we're gonna talk about MVP anyway, because what he's doing is phenomenal. I think he's the leading candidate for MVP again. And I want to talk about what my criteria is. And my criteria is basically, it comes from Michael Jordan. I mean, how do you have a better criteria than Michael Jordan? They named the MVP trophy after him. So the MVP trophy is named after Michael Jeffrey Jordan as of last year or year before last. I can't remember. Maybe last year. They named the trophy after him. So if you're going to name the trophy after him, I think it's a good opportunity for the NBA to rededicate themselves back to the defensive end of the ball and two-way players, right? And that's what Michael Jordan actually embodied. And I want to talk about Michael Jordan's MVP seasons, right? Here's the year he won his first MVP, and you can see they won 50 games, right? So I think the most important thing about the MVP is team success, right? That's my triangulation method. Team success is very important. Your team record, your team seeding, offense, defensive rating. I need to see what you did on the floor translate to team success. And then I need to see how you provide offense and defensive value, right? So how did MJ do that? 87, 88, his first MVP season. He won 5 MVPs, but let's just talk about his first one, 87, 88. He was the defensive player of the year that year. He was the scoring leader. He was the steals leader. All NBA first team, all NBA, all defensive first team. And he won the MVP that year, and he played all 82 games. All of those things are important. He was averaging 35 points. That's important. It's important for you to be scoring. You're the best player on the team. Scoring is very important. Defending is very important. So his team success was there. He was top 8 and all the NBA as far as his team success. I mean, because there was a couple of 60-win teams, but there were probably 4 or 5 50-win teams, and he was one of them. So he was definitely within the top 10. You can't be outside of the top 10 NBA wise as far as your team and still be considered a candidate, right? You just can't. So your team success has to be there. Sorry, Luka. 82 games played. Yeah, I want to see the person playing as much games as possible. Stay on the floor, right? That's very important, right? Defense. You don't have to win defense of the year, defensive player of the year like Jordan. You don't have to be the steals leader like Jordan. You don't have to be all team, all defense first team, maybe second team, maybe third team. But you have to be a contributor. You have to be elite. Well, not even elite. I'll take a step under elite. You have to be above average. You have to be good to great on the defensive end, just like you are on the offensive end. You just can't be elite offensively and then be a liability defensively, and then also have a team with a average to below average record and then be the MVP. And yes, I'm talking about Luka Doncic. You can't be in the 6th or 7th seed in the West. We're not talking about 7th overall in the NBA. We're talking about in your own conference, you're the 6th or 7th seed, and then be considered an MVP. And then you can't be a liability on defense and be considered MVP. Right now, they have it to where they're just measuring your stats, and the stats that the only stats they think about is points, rebounds, and assists. And for certain people, they'll start talking about PER and win shares and advanced analytics like that. They're never going to talk about team success. They're never going to talk about the defensive end of the floor. They're just going to say points, rebounds, assists, and then other advanced analytics. I think that's trash, right? So this is the best formula you could use. You named the trophy after Michael Jordan, so use Michael Jordan as a standard and go back to how he was as when he won MVPs, and make defense part of the criteria, make team success part of the criteria, make availability part of the criteria as well, and lean on scoring and defending more than you lean on these other stats like rebounds and assists. Even though he was averaging 6 rebounds and 6 assists when he won his MVP in 87, 86. So he was doing all that as well. But it's not all that necessary, right? We got point guards for those type of things, so that's my thought on the MVP. I just wanted to put that out there for our final segment, and we're right at about 2 hours, which means we did good on time. I will take a couple of phone calls really quick if y'all want to come in and discuss the MVP. Let me get to some of these comments. MJ was different. Absolutely. Don't forget about Kobe Bryant. Yep. Minnesota last year, Jokic led the league in player efficiency rate and win shares per 48 minutes, box plus minus, and value over replacement led his team to number 1 seed and nearly averaged a triple double. And I think all of that is cool for offensive player of the year, but offensive player of the year don't exist in the NBA. So we're talking about most valuable player, and I need to see value on both ends of the floor. And all of these little advanced stats does nothing for me. You see how simple it was to just look at what MJ did. Like when you have to dig that deep, that's a red flag. If I had to dig this deep to find value for your player, then that means the value is not evident and obvious. But looking at this guy, oh man, steals champion. You got the most steals in the league. Oh, you're a defensive player of the year candidate. He actually won it. But even if you was a candidate, like Joel Embiid was a candidate for defensive player of the year last year, and he was top 5 in blocks, right? And he was the anchor for his defense. He was a rim protector, right? He just wasn't a participant. He was a leader on the defensive end and the offensive end. Right, that matters more than win shares, blocks plus minus, and win shares per 48 and triple doubles like that. You know how you get triple doubles? You have to play a certain style to be able to get those triple doubles. Everyone's not trying to be their point guard and primary scorer at the same time. Everybody's not doing that, so everyone's not going to get triple doubles. So how valuable are triple doubles? Like, is it valuable enough for someone to get MVP? I don't think so. So, bro, LeBron every year. That's LeBron every year. He's always a liability defensively. Oh man, scoring is very important. It's not called assist ball, rebound ball, defense ball, steals ball, block ball. It's called basketball. It's called basketball. I agree. Michael Jordan still did all those other stats very well. Jordan won the scoring title, defensive player of the year the same year. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, he was averaging 35 too. Scoring title. Did I forget scoring title on there? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all of that.